Good evening and a warm welcome to all of you. We are delighted to have you join us today for a special edition of Centaur's webinar series for teachers. I hope everyone is feeling energized and ready to engage in today's exciting session. So, our topic for this special occasion is exploring the Reggio Emilia approach, enhancing student centered learning and collaboration. We are honored to have Aarti Bagdi Gill as the facilitator for today's session. Miss Aarti Bagdi Gill brings over 13 years of experience in early years education, working with global organizations like the Millennium Group and GEMS International, a registered resource person with CBSE, AIEF, and Palikutum Global Connect. Ms. Gill is also a global ambassador for SDG 4 quality education under the UN. Ms. Gill specializes in designing innovative lesson plans for foundation years and shares her expertise as a YouTuber and online trainer. Welcome again, ma'am.
Thank you
Before
so
I
much.
ha- Yeah. Before I hand over the session to the facilitator, I would like to inform all teachers that they will receive participation certificates for the session. Please fill out the feedback form that will be shared with you towards the end of the session. I request everyone to participate actively. Please ask your questions in the chat box, and we will definitely try our best to answer them as much as possible. We are excited to introduce a new process that will make downloading your record of participation smoother and more efficient. So, here how it works. So, step one is open the Centa app on your device. It can be Android or iPhone. Step two, navigate to the ongoing webinar section. Step 3, click on Submit Feedback. Please note that this option will be available only at 6 p.m. IST once the session is completed. Step 4, during the end of the session, we will share a 4-digit code required for feedback. Enter this code to access the feedback form. Step 5, complete the feedback form and you will be able to download your record of participation instantly. This new process was introduced to streamline your experience and ensure that your participation is instantly recognized. Moving forward, the feedback form will be exclusively available in the Centa app after every session, making it even easier for you to share your thoughts and receive your record of participation seamlessly. We encourage everyone to provide feedback to help us enhance future sessions. Thank you for your participation and cooperation. Over to you, Atif.
Thank you so much, Shireen, for such a warm welcome. I'm highly obliged that I am part of this platform, and today I shall be sharing few valuable insights related to the topic Reggio Emilia. So today's topic is basically to explore the whole approach and how it is basically related for the student upliftment in the classroom for learning and collaboration. So let's explore the whole concept. Please move on to the next slide. So we are going to explore what is Reggio Emilia, who is the founder of Reggio Emilia, and of course role of teacher is very important in the classroom when we are talking about different approaches, and how this approach is basically connected to the nature, that is the most important part of the whole. How this contribute in language development using natural attributes. Implementation in classroom is none other than important because we are actually looking forward to change our classrooms as per the new education policy. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. So the idea behind this approach is that we are going back to those days when World War II was going on in Italy. And the process was little slow for learning. It was difficult for the teachers to arrange the resources for the students, and the students are having less resources because it is difficult to find out the resources. And in that, the founder of the approach, that is Loris Malaguzzi, he came into play. He thought that I should give an opportunity to the teachers to gather the things from the surrounding, to help the basically students to connect to the nature, and by that it is so easy for them to relate with the learning. When we talk about pandemics, then again it is a turning point, because we were confined to our homes. We were not able to connect with the resources which are available outside. So in that case, we were looking forward that we can get the things from our house only. So this is basically related to child centered learning, and it was originated in Italy, and later on it got international recognition. So the whole idea was to gather the things from outside. Nowadays we are talking about experiential learning, nature talks. So it is basically related to that only. So if we are looking forward that experiential learning is something new, then no, it is not a new concept. It is a very old one. But the idea is that we need to understand what is the need of the time. Are we just in that, in that shell basically, and we are just, putting stress on the children, just doing that, chalk and board sort of learning in the classroom, and they are not exploring outside. So the whole idea behind this approach is to explore more and more. Next slide, please. So the founder of the whole approach was Mr. Loris Malaguzzi. He was born in Italy, and he was an elementary school teacher, psychologist, and pedagogist too. So many attributes of a teacher actually help the teacher to explore more and more in different areas of learning. And when we are into this profession of teaching the students, we are actually looking for all the different kind of learners. I hope you all are agreed with this. We have different kind of learners in the classroom. And during pandemic as well, we were more confined to audio and visual learning, because we were all doing it online as well. So it was like that. So experiential learning or hands-on learning was a turning point for a teacher as well, and for a student too, because the students were not near to the teacher. They were having lack of resources. Even a teacher is having lack of resources at that time. We all rushed to our homes, and we were confined to that area only. So whatever we were having at our place only, that is what we were using at that time. So this Reggio Emilia was very, very helpful during those days, because we were just using those resources which were easily available. Next slide, please. Now comes the role of a teacher. So I'm a teacher, and if I'm using this approach, so my idea is that I'm a guide basically. I'm not governing the students. I'm not at all, giving unnecessary directions to them. I'm not overlapping them. I'm just giving them an opportunity. That is very important. Nowadays children are like, they just want to explore. They want that independent learning. We are talking about independent learning nowadays. So as a guide, I can help the students to go in that open environment. I'm just an observer. We foundation years teachers basically do anecdotes as well. We you know make records as well, and we do rubrics too. So we are looking forward as an observer basically, and I am a helper too, because I'm going to organize that complete environment for the students. I'm giving them those bags, and I'm just guiding them that we are going to this area and we are going to collect these materials and we are coming back to the classroom. So that complete flow is basically my idea basically. So we as a teacher should understand that this is something very important when we are looking for any particular kind of approach. So, and last but not the least, I'm a motivator too, because there are few children who are like, who are confined to the cube only, who don't want to, like say, they don't want to go to that particular environment. So we are actually helping the students to connect to that third teacher. We all know mother is the first teacher of the child, but the teachers are the second teacher of the child, and of course, the last one, or you can say the third one, is the environment. So here we are connecting students to the environment only to foster their critical thinking. Next slide, please. So the idea here as a teacher is to foster the needs of the students. Now I'm looking forward for the key principles. So what are the key principles related to this approach? Are basically engaging the students more. When you are just confined to your classroom and you're just doing those pity worksheets in the classrooms, we are just turning the things into pages, that's it. We are not giving that much liberty to the students to go outside that particular shell and go and explore the things on another level. So just think out of that cube, give them complete holistic environment, creativity, and let them explore those open-ended material which are available outside the classroom. And the strong emphasis of this approach is basically on the relationships. When peers, they collaborate, they go outside the classroom. And I'm seriously talking for like say for every grade basically, right from foundation years to higher grades. So when we are talking about these approaches, we start from the foundation years only. Then only gradually we make the foundation strong of the students. So it is actually meant for everyone. Next slide, please. So it is like we should give them this much opportunity. So this is a basic setup for Reggio Emilia classroom. This is all which is being gathered by the students, and of course, I am a guide. I am a teacher. My role is to set up that complete environment. The moment children come back with those materials which they have in their bags, and the moment they show you all the things which they have gathered from that garden area, is nothing but pebbles, twigs, I believe leaves also. So they gather certain things which they feel they should gather or they like basically. So we are giving them that independent approach, that independence to select the things. So that is what being added to the experience they want to have basically. Next slide, please. So teachers can maintain such basic setups in the classroom. This is very interesting setup for the students to have different workshops, or it's according to the lesson plan you want to follow in your classroom. So any lesson plan can be having this Reggio Emilia approach. Any lesson plan. Next slide, please. So the idea is take the children outside the classroom and give them that opportunity. Now, in this, they are creating something from the different attributes which are kept in a tray, and they are making some model. So every time we are not looking forward for those assignments. Why assignments every time? Let's give them opportunity to create their own models. Let's give them opportunity to make their own content. So gradually students learn the things. It is not all of a sudden that they start doing the things. So we as teachers are actually responsible for taking the turn. So give them this opportunity to have such environment in the classroom so that they have a diverse learning. Next slide, please. So the idea is to make the children happy and explore more and more in the classroom, create their own masterpieces. And of course, when you explore such things outside your classroom, and when you, decorate, or you can say display such things in the classroom, they feel confident. So if I say Reggio Emilia is actually making the students confident, or it's actually helping the students to become confident. So I am not wrong basically. So here again, this is all being done by those material which are available outside the classroom, and they are free of cost too. And they are learning to gather the things, to pick up the things, to bring the things, and to display the things in the classroom. So n number of things are going on in the same approach. So it is possible only when we have explained or fully, you can say, elaborated lesson plans. Such lesson plans are not possible so frequently. That is why we keep it once in a month, or you can say twice in a month, so that we can have a small part of this approach in any of our lesson plan inculcated. Next slide, please. So the idea basically here is to help the students to come up with new thing every time. Now this is a storytelling session which is going outside the classroom. We have strengths in our classrooms. We actually feel hesitated, or you can say it is very difficult for us to have such sessions which are outside the classroom. But yes, colors of nature are visible only outside the classroom. So the idea is to design such sessions. You can divide the students in two or three, like say, as per the strength of your classroom. But yes, we need to give such exposure to the students so that they can connect more. Next slide, please. So the idea is, if it is not possible for us to have, you know, the outdoor session every time, or when we have a number of students in the classroom, it is difficult for a teacher to organize or to take them, outside the classroom. We can arrange indoor sessions too. Taking Reggio Emilia in concern. So this is one of the beautiful picture which I feel I should share with you. Is like say the whole floor decor is there, which is related to the nature, and the thematic learning is going on. Children are understanding that they are sitting in a lap of a nature. They are connecting. They just add few vocabulary words to their to their own vocabulary, and that is what the beauty of a teacher, to help the students, to gather more and more from the nature. That is what the beauty. So the idea is, if it is not possible every time to go outside the classroom, we can create Reggio sessions, or you can say Reggio Emilia approaches or backgrounds inside the classroom as well. But the idea is, I, as a teacher, want it or not. So, yes, teachers, it is a time that we are changing the needs of the student. We are, helping the new generation in different ways. Even the new education policy is also supporting this, new concepts and, possibilities. So, just come out of that era and think of something new in the classroom, so that students will get engagement more and more. Next slide, please. Okay, so this is something very interesting. There is one pouch, and this is actually meant for circle time. If you are doing circle times or BGs or TPS in your classroom, so I believe this is the best one which we can do as per the Reggio. So Reggio says that you have to gather the things from the outside, and the moment you come inside the classroom, you are having this extended session of storytelling. Or I can say for grades it can be a language session as well, or it can be a literature session too, it can be a science session too. So I feel that this approach is open for everyone. The idea is you are changing the attributes as per your classroom and as per your needs. So this is basically a story. On each and every pebble there is one art which is being created, and we feel that they're gonna create the whole story. The students will relate with the different characters of the story, and then followed by that they can create their own opinion writing or content writing, like say whatever the writing pattern you have in your classroom. So we can design such sessions also for the students, and we can even design assessments as well, because when we talk to the students then we really feel so that why paper and pen every time. Assessments can also be reframed, lesson plans can also be reframed, taking into consideration the new approaches which are available. Next slide, please. So the idea is that we can, help the students to have thematic learning as well. So this is an example of thematic learning. The science teachers, I believe, can easily relate with it, and even the literature teachers, or you can say the language teachers, or different subject teachers too, can relate that this can also be possible when we are taking the children outside the classroom. Such projects are so engaging for the students, and they feel confident when they create the things by themselves, and this shows their creativity. And this is what we are looking forward, that we should help the children to gather more from the surrounding. And the moment they create such models by themselves, they really feel so that yes, this is being created by me, and this is how it can be, or this is the next possible way that I can create it too. So every child is coming up with a different model. So this is what we are looking forward, and we are thinking that the teachers should help the students to come up with the new ideas. Next slide, please. So for thematic learning too, it is very helpful. Now the best part for the facilitator is to have blended learning, differentiated learning, group learning, and independent learning. So I believe all the wonderful teachers who are out here know about all these different kind of approaches and learnings. But the idea is how I can blend it up. So if I'm doing Reggio, it is entirely not possible, as I can see here in the comment box as well, that it is not actually possible that we can, have an entire Reggio session. So the idea is you can blend your entire Reggio session, you can split it into two, and you can blend it with another sort of an approach. For example, differentiated one, where the group of students, for example, I'm just giving an example to you. If you have a strength of 30 students in your classroom, you can divide the students in group of 10, and you can make the students to go from differentiated learning. In that, only 10 students will go for the Reggio Emilia approach. The rest 10, they will go for group learning, and the rest 10, they can go for worksheet sort of an approach. So you can divide the students as per the different cycles basically you have in your classroom, and you can divide the students according to the different lesson plans as well, so that each and every student can explore Reggio in the next chance. So the idea is this is actually a solution for those who are asking that it is difficult for taking out the children, for that the strength is more, and it is difficult to take the children outside with such a big bunch of students in the classroom. So the idea is that you can blend with different learning approaches, and you can easily sort out this problem as well. Next slide, please. So I believe teachers will help the students to explore the environment in a different manner and make them feel happy too. Now this is lesson based learning, and the child is so happy. See, students are coming to us, and the moment they go from us, they go from our lab, I believe they should feel happy. If we are doing learning happily, that it means that we are learning basically. And if we are just doing the learning for learning, actually we are doing mugging. So this is what I feel. So make the children feel happy. Whatever they are exploring, they should understand different attributes. So taking children outside and thinking in a very different and very magical manner is very important nowadays. So I feel that this beautiful clip can show that how students can easily relate according to the lesson we have as per the Reggio Emilia approach. Next slide, please. So the idea here is teachers that we can create our own very simple teaching aids, and the teaching aids are mostly available, outside the classroom, and the students can easily bring those material, and they gather the material and they just bring it to the classroom, and you are sorted. But the idea is you need to organize that complete environment. You need to understand that I am the one who are going to make a setup. And of course, if you're feeling so that you have more strength, then in that case, you can blend it with another approach. For example, differentiated one, which I had already told you. Now is the base group sessions, TPS, and circle time. I believe this is for everyone, because we in our schools as well, and as per the new education policy too, we are supporting all these threes. And for the foundation years, we are basically doing the circle times, and similarly for elementary grades, we are doing base group sessions, and similarly for the higher ones, we are going for TPS. So base group sessions and think parent share is very very important uh, when we are talking about the revised assessments in the schools. So the idea is it is for everyone, right from foundation years to the higher grades, and the teachers are sorted because they are just into this thing that they are just opening that smart board and helping the students to watch the videos and just mug up those things. No, why not creating a curiosity in the students? Why not giving them that opportunity to think what is there in this pouch and what this pattern is actually saying? So we can create such very small resources, and we just leave it in between those students, and just cater them on that table and let them think what is going to be there coming up next. So this is what the TPS, or you can say the base group session or the circle time, and it actually makes your day basically, right? So the moment you give them that hint, it is entire day they understand, okay, this is gonna happen. So this is how, and we are making them understand that you are now independent. I am just your guide, I'm just your observer. The moment you give them this opportunity, they feel more confident, and that is what we are looking forward. And then we say that the child is not able to speak. How the child is able to speak when with the child is entire day is just writing on the papers? I don't think so. Writing on papers and just confined to that workbook or books or notebooks is not actually the cup of tea. So the time is changing. We are looking forward to have good orators. We are looking forward to have good confident students more in number in the classroom. And of course, followed by this, you can extend the session to the writing part. But yes, I feel that never start your sessions with the writing part. Always have such interesting warm up sessions. It can be inspired by any approach, like say. So here today I'm just talking about Reggio. There are so many approaches which we can easily contribute in our classrooms, and we can use in our think pair shares and base group sessions. And I believe that the teachers out here are using these beneficial programs for the students right in the morning, because base group session and TPS take place in the morning only, just like circle time. So they have their peer monitoring. We talk about inclusive classroom every time. We are talking about national curriculum framework. So this is actually the part of that. So it's a big document, but the idea is how am I gonna, implement it in the classrooms. This is what we are looking forward. Next slide, please. So I believe we can create such. Yeah, this is something very interesting. Again, it can be customized for any of your lesson plan as per your subject restriction. So you can be any subject teacher and you are sorted. But the idea is this platform I need to create. Students in higher grades can create their own platforms too. Here again, the teacher is sorted, I believe. But yes, in foundation years, we teachers are looking forward that we have to create such. And I really feel that we are giving good foundation if we are putting more emphasis on foundation years, because later on it is like that whatever the children are learning from the foundation years, they are actually just shining with the shiny layers. They're coming up in the elementary and higher grades. So I really want to say this for the foundation year teachers, that yes, we are actually looking forward that they should contribute for this one. Next slide, please. So all the subject teachers can go for this. Now this is again very interesting. It is created from the nature only. And if I'm creating such backers for the students for all the 40 or 30 or 20 students, it is difficult for me. So not every time, but yes, I can create on a very, what you can say, on a very smart term, like say, for all of them at the same platform. So yes, it is possible, because I have gathered leaves one day, then I have extended my lesson to the next day that I'm doing the numbers, then I've extended my lesson to the next day, that is I'm creating the backus. And this is for the reinforcement, the lowercase and the uppercase. So this is for the reinforcement too. So when you are talking about Bloom's taxonomy, when you are talking about other approaches too, this says that yes, you need to recall. So this is what the recall as well. So yes, Reggio is helping you in recall too. Reggio is helping you to blend with other learnings too. Reggio is too helping you to explore outside the classroom. It's helping you to relate with the things. It is helping you to connect with the third teacher, that is environment. So n number of things are going on, and it is good to go for that. Next slide, please. Okay, so this is a question. Can we use Reggio in the language lesson plans? So yes, we can come up with an idea that whether it is possible or not. So yes, this is the activity which is being taken from my own classroom only. Next slide, please. Where a language lesson can also be planned as per the the Reggio Emilia approach, and it is followed by a nature walk. So it is an extended lesson plan where we take the children for the nature walk in circle time, and then we are introducing a new, what you can say, any letter which is related to that particular subject, and it can be a number two if it is related to numeracy, and it can be related to the subject of that particular state as well, that is related to the language. So if we are talking about the national language, then in that case this is something which is being created, one of the Hindi Vyanjan which is created by those dried leaves, which is being collected by the students during that nature walk. So this is an extended lesson plan, and it is having we haven't used any sort of resource which is present inside the classroom. It is the children are relating that yes, I had collected these and now I'm creating this. So this is a beautiful example that how we can connect with the language as well. Next one, please. So I believe teachers can, use such ideas for their classroom. Now, if we have a clip for this, science session for higher grades, like say, so this is, I believe, can be easily possible, and such models can be possible for all the students, even 10. I believe 10 models can easily be possible so that we can have that divided sort of learning, and we are just creating a simple template for the students, 10 templates, and they are doing that in your BG session or in the beginning and in the morning sessions. When they are coming to the school, they feel relaxed, they feel happy. The moment they reach school, they feel happy, they just take their models and they start their enforcement, and they do whatever they want to do basically. So this is something which is related to the new assessment system. And I, as a teacher, as an observer, observe students. Yes, this child is so focused, this child is so keen to do such activities, and the moment I come to know the best part, that this child is a kinesthetic learner. So idea is, audio visual learners are good one to go, but the idea is kinesthetic learners are those learners who have more retention. So we teachers are looking for more retention, and that is why such hands-on learning experiences are more motivated nowadays in our Indian education system. Next slide, please. So I believe teachers can create such models for the students in the classroom, and it can be in a number of 10, which is a very easy number, and they can easily use it as and when they are, exploring on a differential learning platform, which is a solution when we have more strength in the classroom. Now, this is a very wonderful and easy example. One of the clip is from Pinterest, and the next one is from our own classroom. So the idea is that we relate with the nature. The idea is do better, give better experiences to the students. And very interesting one is, if any teacher can find it out in this clip, is recycling as well. These are the small cups of clay only, and they are being recycled. So when we are doing such concepts in the classroom, and when we are implementing them from our real life, that is why we are looking forward for these SDG goals, isn't it? So if we are supporting SDG goal, as I am supporting SDG 4, that is quality education, so in that case we are focusing on that recycling and reuse as well. So this is a wonderful example, I believe, and the students quickly relate that these are the clay cups of our own class only, and we are using them again, and they are just taking them to home, and they are giving water to these small cups of plants, and they grow, and then they you just transfer them to the big one. So this is a journey basically, and when we are talking about a journey, it starts from a journal. So when we are doing freehand coloring or drawing or freehand understanding or freehand art integration in the classroom, we are actually motivating the students to come up with such things. So why not we can use such approaches for the assessment too. So the idea is that this is child centered, and besides that, it is very collaborative, it is giving success to the students, and of course we can use it for assessment too. so that we can do all round contour development of the child. Yes, this is for kinesthetic learners only. And that is what kinesthetic learners are: basically those learners who actually experience the things and then they learn. Audio learners means those who actually hear and learn. Visual learners are those who see and learn, but the kinesthetic ones, they retain more. So the idea is for more retention, hands-on learning is coming up into play. Next slide, please. So the idea is how it contributes to the successful learning in the classroom. So this is something very important. Engages active learning. So yes, when students are sitting in the classroom and they are just sitting on their places, and the teacher is delivering a lecture, they are just listening, they are looking here, they're looking there. So active learning means their own participation. Here only visual learning, auditory learning is going on. They are just listening to you, they are just watching on that board, nothing. So the idea is here we are not looking for the passive learners. We are looking for the active learners. Active learners means those who are doing something from their own hands. So you are giving them something. You are giving that basically that opportunity to go and explore the things. So it is not like that every time we are going outside the classroom. It is inside the classroom too. So, this is the smartness of a teacher, how a teacher creates the platform to explore in classroom as well. Next is promote collaboration. Yes, helping children to learn to communicate and to negotiate. Yes, when they are going outside the classroom, they are gathering the things, they negotiate as well. They work with others as well. They help each other as well. They understand the socio emotional skills as well. They communicate too because they talk with each other. And this is not only for the, like, say, for the school students I'm talking about. It is a sustained learning approach entirely for everyone. The idea is how am I gonna approach to this approach basically? How am I gonna use it in my lesson plan? So think differently for all your lesson plans and use the approaches. Support creativity and expression. The 100 languages of a children, as we all know. So yes, every child is unique. Every child is different. I, as a teacher, it's very difficult for me to understand the need of each and every child. But yes, I'm an observer too. So in that case, I can give my marks for differential learning and different ways of learning in the classroom rather than just sitting in the classroom for the whole day and just going to the homes. So this is actually not a solution. Build independence and confidence. If you're talking about confidence, if you're looking forward that the student should be more confident, they should deliver better, they should have good oration. So in that case, we really need to work upon. We really need to think that we should be more focused on content writing, opinion writing. Do we do opinion writings in our classroom? Do we do more often content writing? Do we give such hints to the students in the morning and they just create their own stories? We are just confined to our books, and we are just looking forward for those question and answers, and we are just confined to that. So of course we are bound to do that, but still we once in a week we can build such things in the classroom so that your children will feel happy and they relate better with us as well, and they have a more engaged learning too. Next slide, please. So this is basically all about Reggio Emilia, and this is what I feel that we should understand the need of the time, and we should think of that why hands-on learning is so important, and we should understand how I can divide my time or those 40 minutes in the classroom as per the need of the students, or I should understand that how I can create more retention in the classroom, how I can help that slow learner as well. I don't know whether we have a different approach for those learners who are basically not so keenly interested to write the content, or those who are not able to deliver to write the content in a proper manner. So the idea is that we need to understand that how we can help the children in all. So such approaches are actually meant for everyone, every sort of learner, that is the approacher, the meeting one, and the excelling two. But the idea is how we design our lesson plans so that we can help the students in a better manner. If you have any queries, these are the two mail address where you can send your queries, and I will surely give you answers of that. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening to this talk. And I believe it will definitely help you in your classrooms, and you will definitely have a good solution and wonderful colors in the classroom when we try such approaches, or giving liberty to the students, and just leave them for some time. Why we are going to deliver or give directions every time? So this is what the culmination behind it. Thank you so much for listening to this session.
Thank you, Aarti ma'am, for a very engaging and informative session for our community of teachers. I'm sure that our teachers have got a lot of takeaways from this session. However, we have a few questions. I have summarized few and combined, so I'll be reading them out. Maybe you can answer them one by one. So the first one is, how can we use the Reggio Emilia approach to make our classroom activities more creative and collaborative for various age groups, like say it can be for early childhood, yeah, for it can be also for middle age groups, or it can be based on the subject. For example, a teacher has asked how can we apply this approach for Hindi or for commerce students. So could you answer on that?
Sure. So I believe you have seen that slide as well. I will start from the beginning only. I had shared one slide that is related to BG session, TPS, and circle time. So there was one slide in which I had, given the three windows basically. So that circle time is for foundation years, and the BG session is for the elementary years, and think parent share, that is TPS, is for the higher grades. So this is completely for everyone. In Reggio Emilia, for circle time, it is for foundation years when we are taking them outside. Though children are very small, we need to give them more time. So in that case, the session will be more extended. But when I come to the elementary years, children are little grown up. So in that case, I need not to go for the extended lesson plans. I can, finish my lesson plan in two parts. Like say, I believe in two sittings, I can easily finish my lesson plan as per ratio. And for the higher grades, it is too easy because the children are grown up well. They understand, they are better independent. They can easily move, and they can easily go, and they just take the directions of the students, and they just do that task basically. So think, pair, and share is basically in pairs only. That is for the part of the regio only. And in that case, they are just divided into groups, and you are just giving them those tasks. You just write it on the check that you need to gather these materials, and you're coming back to the classroom and they're sorted. So Reggio is basically helpful in creating models. Reggio is basically helpful in creating the resources for the classrooms too. If the children are grown up, like say for the higher grades, so it is benefit for the teachers of higher grades that they can easily, make the children go outside the classroom and gather things and create their own models, because they come up with their own creativity too. Nowadays, AI is so on boom. So they get the ideas from AI as well, and they create their own. So again, here is a critical learning which is going on. Next is how it is helpful in different languages. So one of the slide I had shared with you, that is what of Chauka Chamatkar, where it is related to Hindi language. So any language can be there. You can make the students to go for the nature walk outside the classroom. They gather the things in their bag and they come to the classroom, and then you carry on with that particular session that is related to your language session. So one of the question is by a commerce teacher, and it is a very interesting question, and I really want to give the answer for that too. In that case, I basically from a science field, but still I want to contribute to this question. And the idea is, you people in commerce fields too have different lesson plans which are actually not identical with our science background, but still we are the idea behind the whole objective is to use the nature. So as per your lesson plan, you can use the nature basically, or you can use the word excursion, go outside the classroom and gathering the things, and how you can use in those terms like say balance sheet or ledger or whatever, we have different terms in commerce. So the idea is that use your lesson plan and use, or you can say inculcate nature in your lesson plan is the basic idea. And taking the children away from those writing part and experience the whole thing by a pretend play, or you can say by understanding different natural attributes. That is what is very important, I believe. So it is not at all a bound one for any subject. It is for everyone, and it is right from foundation years to higher grades. Even the high grade teachers, they get more benefits because the children are more independent.
Yes, thank you, ma'am, for that. There's one more question like any specific example for blended learning?
Yeah, I would really like to. So blended learning is something which you can something which you can mix basically. So if I just take an example of Maria Montessori. So Maria Montessori is again a type of a different kind of an approach in which they have a different setup, and they have their own tools. They are very restricted to that skill lab. So in that case, if you had seen my very first slide, which is having a platform, the basic setup slide, where a platform was there where numbers and different attributes were kept on a table, and everything was so organized. So in that slide, there were few attributes from the Maria Montessori slab too. So the idea is that every time students won't be able to collect or gather the material from outside, sometimes possibilities that they won't be able to gather this much. So in that case, what we do, where we take the advantage of different approaches. So Maria Montessori is like, we take the attribute from those skill labs. We take those small dice, or you can say small mushroom dice, or different wooden pebbles are also in the Maria Montessori. Tar is also there. So we just take those attribute and we use them merge with Reggio Emilia, and that is what the blended learning is. So blended learning is nothing but to blend Reggio Emilia with any other learning. So Maria Montessori is another method. So just merge it and you will get more resources and it will be rich session. So the idea behind blended learning is this, to make your session more rich. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much, ma'am, for like providing the answers for the questions that our audience have asked. And to the audience, join us tomorrow, the 13th September 2024, for an exciting and transformative masterclass designed to empower educators, led by Dr. Anupma, a seasoned academic mentor and STEM expert with over 22 years of experience. This session is a golden opportunity to enhance your teaching methods and gain insights into research paper navigation, the fine line between information and knowledge, and effective data management. In addition to these critical skills, Dr. Anupma will guide you in fostering a scientific mindset in students, a hallmark of innovative teaching today. With the National Teachers Award approaching next year, this masterclass offers the perfect chance to refine your skills and elevate your teaching to the next level. Whether you aim to stay ahead of educational trends or enhance your eligibility for prestigious awards, this session is a must attend for forward thinking educators. Please register now by clicking the link provided in the chat box and secure your spot. And that would be a very grateful session for the teacher audience. Another exciting news: the Global Teachers Meet is happening this Saturday, 14th September 2024, and will feature a dynamic agenda with keynote question and answer sessions, debates on the future of teaching, showcases by schools and teachers, recognition of learning champions and Center International TPO winners, panel discussions, global initiatives, student and parent panels, a virtual center app tour, insights on technology and teacher well-being, and continuous audience engagement through surveys, quizzes, live chat, and interactive activities. So there's going to be a lot of things that's happening in the Global Teachers Meet on Saturday, 14th September. So looking forward for your participation this Saturday, all the teacher audience. And thank you so much to all the participants for engaging with us today. Thank you, Aarti ma'am, for the informative session. And to register for more such upcoming webinars, please visit the Center app. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, everyone, and good evening. Bye bye.